Hello and welcome to Tipsy Gaming, where we mix cocktails with World of Warcraft. Today we're talking Torghast and the bonus event, Unbridled Darkness, which is live right now during the week of March 9th. This comes at the same time as a big patch, as well as a nerf to Torghast overall. And because I like tequila with my Torghast, I made myself a Cucumber Margarita to go with it today. I ran this today as a balanced druid with a restoration affinity on upper reaches layer 8. The initial reading that I did of this event had me very nervous about the darkness that would befall during the course of it, but I was pleasantly surprised, actually. This bonus event plays out very differently whether you're in there solo or in a group. We first see this in the initial anima power that is offered. You still have your regular 2 normal anima powers, and then if you're solo, you will have one of 2 options, either the Vial of Unbridled Darkness or the Flask of Unbridled Darkness. Very similar, but slight differences between the two. Both of these will cause complete darkness, making you not able to see anything, but increase your damage and healing by 75%. The Vial, which is the one that I was offered, has a 15-second duration and a 90-second cooldown. The Flask, on the other hand, starts with a 30-second duration and is on a 60-second cooldown. If you go into Torghast with a party of 2 or more, you will not only have one of the first 2 options of either Vial or Flask, but you will also be given the option to select Uncontrolled Darkness, which increases damage and healing by a whopping 150%, as well as movement speed by 50%. However, it automatically occurs every 5 kills and dissipates after your next 5 kills, so you cannot control when the darkness happens. I'm not as fond of that one as I am of the first 2 where you can control it. You could even select these 2 and play the rest of the run completely normal without even activating the darkness. I don't know why you would want to do that because it's pretty freaking awesome, but if you decide it's not for you, then you don't have to use it. Just like the previous bonus events, you must select the Darkness Anima power at the beginning of the run. Otherwise, you won't be offered the related powers for the rest of the Torghast run. The first floor I got with this power happened to be the trap floor, with only a couple mobs and some rats, so I would not recommend using darkness until you got to the final boss of that floor, for obvious reasons. It is very difficult to avoid traps when you can't see them. But as far as the periodic darkness goes overall, it really wasn't that bad. Just utilize the mini-map to make sure that you're not walking off a ledge and you should be fine. I certainly wouldn't want to use it while running on a chain in between platforms because I have enough trouble with those as it is. Even without the additional anima powers that really boost this ability, it's pretty fun to use with things like Convoke the Spirits, where you just gather up a whole bunch of mobs, plunge into darkness, and kill everybody. Also, you can activate darkness while in the middle of casting, and it doesn't interrupt what you're doing. Now, there were a couple of times in which I did run into some tab targeting issues, where I couldn't see, but I was still in combat, but I just couldn't tab target the next mob. There were times when I took some heavy hits because the torment that was active on the run that I tried this on was the increase to physical damage. So by the end of it, mobs were doing 27% increased physical damage to me, and since a number of the bonus event anima powers rely on you being in melee range, that was not ideal, but still manageable. Seemingly one of the favorite anima powers in this bonus event is a common one, Sensor of Suffocating Shadows, which simply pulses damage to enemies within 10 yards while you're under the effects of Unbridled Darkness. If you have the ability to stack a few of those up together, you really may not need much else. Some of the other noteworthy anima powers related to this event extend the duration, or increase your dodge, which is great since you can't see what you're supposed to be avoiding anyway. If you are running this bonus event as a group, you want to keep an eye out for the anima powers Harvester of Shadows and Huddled Carvings, which will either do healing or increase damage if you're both under the effects at the same time. This is most likely to happen if you selected that party-only ability, Uncontrolled Darkness. However, if you are in a party, be mindful about selecting the anima power Wild Flare of Tolar. because this will do a pretty significant amount of damage to either the nearest enemy or player. But that about wraps it up for the Unbridled Darkness bonus event in Torghast this week. Personally, I recommend that you give it a shot. I had a lot of fun with it actually, and I wasn't even expecting to. I haven't tried it as a group yet, and if I did, I'm honestly not sure I would want to pick the Uncontrolled Darkness. That one just seems a little too intense for me. But I had a lot of fun going in there and stacking up Convoke the Spirits with Unbridled Darkness, especially if I added in Celestial Guidance to the mix. I was able to take down elites that had given me significant trouble in the past, and it just made me feel like a boss. If you do check out this bonus event, let me know what you think, either in the comments below or over on Twitch, where I'm streaming Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And until next time, this has been Tipsy Gaming. I'm Tipsy. Please remember to drink and game responsibly. Bye!